This is Optimal Health Daily, episode 1154. Top 5 Nutrition Mistakes Made by Runners, by Anne of FannestasticFood.com. And I'm Dr. Neil Malik, reading you some of the most popular health and fitness blogs out there, with permission from the websites, of course, and always with a bit of my commentary at the end. Now, to hear a lot more blogs being narrated to you for free, check out all of our shows. Just search for Optimal Living Daily wherever you're hearing this. Now, today I have a new author for the show, Anne of Fannestastic Food. She puts the Anne in fantastic, and that's how the site is spelled. Fanne tasticfood.com. And I'll tell you all about her right after I read from her post. So let's get right to it as we optimize your life. Top 5 Nutrition Mistakes Made by Runners, by Anne of Fannestasticfood.com. I recently surveyed a bunch of my running buddies, asking them what running nutrition-themed posts and tips they'd find helpful. Last year, I published posts about how to fuel a long run and what to eat before and after a run. So the consensus this time was to touch on some of the typical mistakes that runners often make in terms of their nutrition. I actually wrote a post on this topic 5 years ago, so I thought it was time to update the post and give it another share. As a runner myself, I know that a great training plan is only part of your success on race day. Nutrition is the other key, and it matters, big time. Proper nutrition for exercise will increase energy, prevent dehydration and electrolyte imbalances, correct gastrointestinal distress, and optimize recovery so you're performing at your best. I hope you find this post helpful. Here are the top 5 nutrition mistakes I see commonly being made by runners. Number 5, skipping breakfast. I often hear from clients that do runs or workouts early in the morning without eating anything first, and then wonder why they lack energy towards the end of their sweat session. Without any fuel before a run, you're likely to bonk. Your body needs energy to power through the workout. Don't deprive it. Aim for fuel that is lower in fat, protein, and fiber, all of which slow digestion, and higher in simple carbs, like toast with a thin layer of nut butter and either sliced banana or some jam. Heading out the door in seconds? Try something smaller, like a few bites of banana, a date, or even a couple handfuls of a lower fiber cereal. Number 4, overdoing it on fuel the night before a race. It's important to make sure that your glycogen stores, the storage form of carbs in the body, are full and ready to go on race day. But you can easily do this by making sure to include a carb source at each meal the week before the race. Flooding your system with large quantities of carbs or anything too greasy or heavy the night before the race will just leave you running to and from the porta potties. Aim for something that includes carbs, but also has some good protein, and something that you eat often or generally sits well for you. My favorite pre-race dinner is pasta with some grilled chicken, veggies, and a red sauce, or a simple quinoa or rice and seared salmon. Number 3, not adequately refueling after a long run. Restricting calories can cause bones to weaken and may result in stress fractures. And if you're under-eating, your muscle is not adequately being repaired and built after long runs. Be sure to eat something within 30 to 45 minutes of ending your run, aiming for something rich in carbs and protein. If you're feeling queasy after a long workout, try liquid nutrition first, like chocolate milk or a smoothie, and then have a real meal later. Number 2, trying something new on race day. You never want to try a new fueling strategy on race day because you never know how your body will react to it. Check the race website to confirm which drinks and gels, if any, will be offered along the course so you can test them out in advance, or bring something with you that you know your body responds well to. And number 1, not taking in enough calories during the actual run. If you're running longer than an hour or so, you'll need to start taking in some carbohydrates while running, generally about 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour. Probably the biggest mistake I see running nutrition clients make is either not fueling during their long runs or not taking in enough fuel. If you are finishing runs feeling extremely depleted and or nauseated, fuel may be to blame. The human body has a limited supply of carbohydrates, and once this fuel tank starts to run low, your performance will suffer. Exactly how much to take in will be based on your height and weight, and will also involve a little trial and error. So, practice different types and amounts of fuels during your runs leading up to race day, and see what works for you. For example, during a 20-mile run, I might take in 1 gel and some gummies, 2 to 3 nut butter stuffed salty dates, and a small granola bar. Aim for lower fiber, lower fat, and low on protein bars in this case. Opposite advice from normal life. I find for longer runs over the half marathon distance, I tend to need more real food fuel versus just gels and gummies, but that may be different for you. You just listened to the post titled Top 5 Nutrition Mistakes Made by Runners by Anne of FannestasticFood.com. And thank you to Anne for giving us permission to share her content here on the show. She started Fannestasticfood.com back in 2009 as a way to inspire others to lead happier, healthier lives. She's a registered dietitian and has her Master of Public Health in Nutrition from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. And she's also a mother, marathoner, yogi, and lover of the outdoors, adventure, travel, and healthy recipe creation. Come by Fannestasticfood.com for a lot more. And the Anne part in Fantastic is spelled like her name. So Fanne tasticfood.com. Dr. Neal here for my commentary. Here's one of my go-to pre-workout snacks. 20 to 30 minutes before I hit the gym, I have 4 bites of banana. That is all. I've learned through years and years of trial and error that any less than that, and I feel starving. So I'm no good when I work out in a fasted state. But any more than that, and I feel sick. Look, my body is really finicky. What can I say? So when Anne said to have a few bites of banana before a workout, I was like, hey, that's my move. That's my favorite pre-workout snack. Now, most of us would likely fall under the average gym goer category. This means that our workouts aren't lasting longer than an hour. We're not going on 20-mile runs necessarily. As Anne mentioned, if that's the case, you may not need to worry about packing a snack to replenish your fuel stores. Now, I must mention the exception to this would be those with pre-existing medical conditions like diabetes. Hydration, though, is also key. For shorter duration activities, like those lasting less than an hour, the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics and the American College of Sports Medicine agree that consuming water closer to the start of the workout is probably best. But the key is to not overhydrate. Now, there aren't super strict rules about exactly how much water to drink before a workout lasting less than an hour, so both organizations recommend experimenting to see how much water maximizes your performance. For me, I like to drink 8 fluid ounces, fancy way of saying 1 cup, of black coffee, plain, 1 hour before my workout. Then another 8 fluid ounces, 1 cup, of water 30 minutes before my workout. That, along with 4 bites of banana about an hour or so before, seems to suit me best. But of course, this may be different for you. For longer workouts or ultra-endurance events, the goal is to get 5 to 7 milliliters of water per kilogram of body weight about 4 hours before, and to be sure to rehydrate during the event. But again, trial and error is going to be key. So take the time to experiment and find what works best for you. All right, that'll do it for today. I'll be back here tomorrow for our usual Friday Q&A, which actually complements what we're talking about right now pretty well. So stay tuned for that, where your optimal life awaits.